Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I will be making over this floor vase, or I think that's what it's called, and I have had this since my husband and I moved in together, so you're looking at about 24 years. So this was a gift from his sister to us when we moved in. It came from Pier 1. It is a beautiful design on it, but the color is no longer working for me and for my decor, especially the decor direction that I'm going in. But I think it's such a beautiful piece that I did not want to just get rid of it. So I think I had come up with an idea to make it over that will work for my current decor. So for this makeover, I will be using Annie Sloan Athenian black paint. And I have added a little bit of water to it because it was getting a little thick and dry, so just to loosen it up a little bit. And then I'm also going to be using some Annie Sloan chalk paint in white, but as you can see, I'm at the very end of it, and I have added some water just to see if it's going to loosen it up while I'm painting the black. If it doesn't, then I'm either going to use Annie Sloan white wax, or I may just go ahead and use some white acrylic paint. We'll see how this loosens up. Sometimes it's gone too far and it doesn't come to life, but sometimes I am able to salvage it and reuse it. I have recently just purchased a new brush for chalk paint. This is a round brush by, I think it's company called Craft. It's 1.5 inches or 38 millimeters. And I had gotten this at Benjamin Moore paint store. So I'm really excited to try it. Believe it or not, with all the furniture painting and everything, I have never owned a round brush for painting. I have round brushes for wax, like the Annie Sloan brushes, but I've never used a round one. I do have the same company. Well, it came from the same store. I don't know whether it's the same company. It looks very much the same, like the handle and this part. Chalk paint brush that I've been using for years, and I absolutely love it. Let me just see if I can find it. So it is this one. So it's not quite round, it's more flatter, but it has been a wonderful brush to work with. But as you can see, it is kind of starting to show its age, and some of the bristles are starting to fall out a little bit. So I thought I'd buy myself a new one, and everybody raves about these round brushes and how they work really well with chalk paint, so I thought I'd give it a try. So I'm going to get started with applying the first coat, but before I do that, I'm just going to wipe it down, get rid of the raffia around it, and just kind of prep it a little bit for the paint. And I'm just using water and vinegar to clean it. You do definitely want to go in a circular motion to get into all these little crevices and etching that this vase had. It was a little bit hard to get all of it covered, but trying to get most of it, because I will be adding some white into it. It wasn't a big deal if it didn't get covered, but I still wanted to have most of the grooves filled with black paint. So it is done. I'm just going to let it dry completely before I move on to the next step. Okay, so it had some time to dry, and I have a rag. I'm also going to just use a dollar store brush, and I had somewhat gotten some of the paint loosened up. I'm gonna see if this will work. I'm gonna give it a stir one more time and see if it works. If not, I'll move on to something else. And you want the paint, even if you're using good paint, you want it to be watered down. And the way you can do that is you can pour a paint in a cup, and then in another cup have some water, and then dip your paintbrush into water and then into paint, and it'll be watered down. Or you can just water down the paint. So the paint's definitely a bit more runnier than I would have liked it to be, but I did manage to get some of it in. I do think that if it was a bit thicker, it would I wouldn't have to go with the wax. But because it was a bit runny, I am going to, I'm pretty sure, go ahead with some white wax as well. So I'm going to let this dry completely before I decide if I want to add some white wax. I do like how the paint worked. I do think if it was a little bit thicker, it would work better. So that is why I'm thinking I might go ahead and add some white wax to it. So I got my white wax and a clean rag. And I'm just gonna take some and rub it in. So I'm not rubbing the wax in, I'm more spreading it around. So I'm not pressing too hard. It's just that way it does get into all the little crevices without removing the paint underneath it, because like I said, I wasn't patient enough to wait for it to completely cure. I'm going to take this chip brush and just try to get the wax out from the groove so it's not so heavy in there. This chip brush, not only did it help take out all the little clumps that got inside the crevices, but it also blended it a little bit better as well. Okay, so at this point I think I'm pretty happy with the wax amount. I'm just not loving some of the white that I had, some of the red that's showing through, because I wiped it off. Now if you gave it a good day to dry, you would not have this issue. I believe when I only gave it maybe an hour, if that. So I'm just gonna go with a clean brush and wipe most of the paint off and just try and go over it a little bit, just so it's not, I don't mind it showing a little bit, but I just don't want it showing as much as it's showing. If you like that look, you definitely don't have to go and do this. Like I said, I don't mind so much this, but the red here that's kind of showing through, it's bothering me a little bit, so I just want to cover it up. And like I said, I'm just going with a very little bit and very dry brush, because I don't want to kind of spread stuff, the white stuff. I don't want to cover the white stuff. So there's just a couple spots that are a little bit more than I wanted to be. So just going over it a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to let this dry and then show you what it looks like and how I'm planning on using it. So I just wanted to remind you to see what it looked like before. Definitely not something that I was able to use in my current decor, but changing it up, adding a little bit of paint, I made it workable. I made it into a brand new piece that I can now use in my decor. I love the way this turned out. I don't think the camera does it justice. I do like a little bit of peeking of that terracotta through. It just gives it that age antique look, and the white wax or the white paint definitely brought out some of the etching that's in it and also the leaf designs. Well, I hope you had enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not, and I will see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.